With lots of kinky gay BDSM sex scenes, elaborately choreographed orgies, full frontal nudity, and men in rubber, Pillion has easily been among the most sexually graphic films of Can so far, and also one of its most warmly received. But it turns out the festival cut of the unorthodox romance, which screened in the uncertain regard section, was a mere bagatelle compared to what could have been shown. According to first-time director Harry Leighton, several scenes from the film, about a meek young man, Harry Melling, who becomes the sexual submissive to a tall domineering alpha male biker, Alexander Skarsgard, were cut to spare the blushes of the crowd, and it was purely because I didn't want to push the audience into feeling they were being deliberately shocked by an image, he explains to Variety. So, for example, there was one close-up of a dick, a hard dick, like down the barrel of the lens. And after watching the film on that fuck-off screen, I thought, yeah, cutting it was probably the right decision. As Skarsgård notes, there's definitely a raunchier version of this movie. What you've seen is the family-friendly version. There's also the Alexander Skarsgård cut. There could be more edits for Pillion ahead to ensure it gets a release in the US, where it's with A24, with Leighton admitting that he has to de-shine some ejaculation. Apparently, that's what pushes you over the edge. For all the wildly graphic nature of the film, even without the bits that end up on the cutting room floor or are de-shined away, Pillion, at its heart, is a touching and frequently hilarious romance about an introverted man's journey of self-discovery, a journey that just happens to involve a whole lot of BDSM. And that's what drew Melling to the project when he was sent the script. What's so interesting about it, for me, was how it feels so relatable and familiar, but maybe dealing with a subculture that people aren't so familiar with, he explains. It was how those two things interplay that I found so fascinating. You were taking romantic comedy tropes and subverting them. For Skarsgård, chosen by Leighton because he needed a 6-foot blonde guy, and jokes the actor, Chris Hemsworth wasn't available. The film came his way after a series of darker roles.